Is it test? They don't lay eggs.
Got him.
Or do they?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Actually pretending. Okay.
Another Navi.
Storm Spirit.
I don't know if I like that pick here. Look at Navi's damage output.
He will die, and it got locked down as
There's a
well.
lot of lockdown. Hey, we talked a lot about that Storm before, but he won his lane impossibly, and he did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah.
So this Storm's capable of anything in my book.
Let's see. Their team fight's great. I'm just concerned about their lack of damage. Storm needs to have a great game, and Tigers is going to counterpick it. They have the last overall selection. Navi, you want to crystallize hero now? I'm trying to think of what that could be. Maybe Weaver gets banned. Maybe a troll? Maybe they draw strat?
Just name all the heroes, and you'll be right. Are they going to ban the Husker, though?
Flinks, perhaps?
Yeah.
Flanks?
I'm thinking. What do we need here? A mid?
Right on everything so far.
We need a mid? For Tiger?
No. We need a Navi carry hero.
Navi carry hero. Oh, Christ.
What about the gyro?
A scar!
Goodness
But
gracious.
they take the Husker because Tigers wanted it, and now they're like, shit.
That's actually...
Shit, can't play it anymore.
They're in deep doo-doo on Tigers now. I think you need to address Storm and Huskar. The main issue is the Huskar gives the rest of the Navi lineup a ton to play around because the low damage 3-4-5 now can just tank up, buy teamfight items, and play around their Huskar's positioning. Makes it a lot easier to play Storm, too.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh boy, this can
But you
be
just
it.
last pick Broodmother. Easy peasy.
No, you're going to lose with Brood.
Oh, you last pick Brood here.
You just lose for the Brood. Brood is a bad
win.
hero.
You win with Brood.
How?
Because you do. I'll explain once they pick it.
If they pick Brood, they lose. Period.
If they pick Brood, they win. Comma.
Oh boy. And Joker.
Yuck.
Choose your hero.
Invoker the Joker.
Into Silencer Huskar. I'm pretty sure Huskar destroys that hero 1v1, but it'll be an Invoker versus Storm matchup.
Oh, God.
It's a lot of pressure. I've been wrong every game. I don't want to break the streak now.
No pressure.
Oh boy. What are they gonna do? I'm very confused this game, so I didn't really follow the draft. But am I supposed to predict?
Yes, you are, sir. Go for it.
Oh.
Whenever you're ready.
The Tigers.
Kyle?
His predictions, can we please? It's a minor.
Kyle?
Gonna go with Navi. Wait. Yeah, Navi.
Oh. Ah, shit. You gotta pick it. Come on.
Go.
Shut up. Well, wait. Navi, the Enigma's gonna be fine. Pangolier's not good enough to counter. Yeah, I gotta go for that as well. Let's find out, though.
Easy win for me.
It is Tigers with their backs against the rope. Will they force out that fifth game, or will Navi punch in their ticket to the first major of the season and take the championship here at the Corsair DreamLeague Season 10? Let's find out. Odie, Pixel, and Fog, take it away.
Let's see if they can do it. Navi up at the moment, 2-1 in this best of 5. This game 4 coming up. They've got themselves their hands on the Huskar. We've seen it already this series, obviously over on the side of Tigers. It wasn't successful. The question is, will Navi have more success with it in this game? What do you reckon, Fog?
They've got the Silencer Enigma combo. So they've got pretty much guaranteed black holes, and a lot of time whenever the global is getting popped during it, there's not really anything they can use to interrupt unless the Pango has a really, really good time, which it is Moon playing the Pango.
It is the Moon
That is
Pango.
the one big thing I want to point out for Tigers, that I do love the way they play with CM plus Pango versus that Enigma. We saw them doing it before. There's a lot of distractions. That's the one thing. Like for Navi, sometimes it's like a Huskar draft, and you're like, all right, we just have to make focus of this Huskar. But we see right here, the Storm Spirit was right there. Storm requires attention. Enigma requires attention. You kind of have to itemize and choose and pick your battles versus this, which could allow a Huskar to be kind of left alone and be that big X factor in the game. So for Tigers, we're going to see what they're able to do here with a little bit of a different draft that they've taken approach to. At least in, you know, they have their CM Pango, but they've got a Mirana now thrown in here too. They've got an Invoker that they haven't been spamming so much. So let's see how it goes.
That's him.
Level 13 Invoker.
Not bad. Not bad.
I mean, in your dream, right? That is a that's one of the top 1 leaderboard players for quite a long time. That is a definite player with a insane amount of matches under his belt in those pubs. Definitely expect him to play pretty much everything.
Let's see if they can pick it back up, Tigers, off the back of having 2 very rough games, one after another.
There's so much damage on the side of Tigers right now, though. I'm looking at their spam ability with the Crystal Maiden that they opened up with, right? The Pango, the Tiny, the Mirana, lots of different spells they can just throw out from a distance. Navi's looks like it all needs to come together during those like big team fights, and Seneko, looks like he's gonna die here.
Now it's gonna be first blood. Moon, he'll grab it. Tigers, after a good morale boost to start this game 4.
And Zephyr's Tiny was his, in my opinion, his best hero that he's played so far. He had an excellent move in the first game. It was kind of natural movements because they had like this meepo and they just had dominant lanes, but he was able to run from lane to lane, put a ton of pressure out on the map. And this is like a very successful, like, you know, kind of approach that they've had in some of their games with the CM, the Pango. They have this like dual roaming as well.
So would you, in terms of in your dream as well, this game, do you still go for the Quaswex, or because of sort of the heroes, do you look for sort of the Exhort build to sort of help kill these heroes like the Huskar and the Storm?
They do have a good amount of things to set up for. The thing is that then he can set up for the Storm very easily for himself, and if he wants to go for like the Spirit Vessel build,
yeah, I mean, I guess you still don't lack damage at all, especially getting the Spirit Vessel against the Huskar. Someone's going to need to do it, and would certainly work, as you say, with the Wex build.
Yeah, he still does have a lot of good Sunstrike setups though around the map. I'm not too sure which one he's going to go for. It's probably Quaswex though.
We'll see how these lanes do go. I mean,
it's Quaswex.
Yeah, they're going to have to imagine bring the Tiny down bottom, as Arjit is not going to have an easy time against both Chew and Blizzy. No. On his own.
Bit of a different approach this time coming out from Navi, right? They're putting the Enigma bottom. They're having a Huskar position in the top lane, and it's already working out. Look at those last hits in the first 2 waves.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want the Enigma in the lane against the Pango, because as we've seen, a couple of levels on the Pango, and every time the Eidolons are out, he's going to be able to clear them out and get easy gold.
So they adapted already, right?
Hang on.
We have a forgotten bounty. Bulldog is probably real sad. So
that's a rarity. Yeah, someone needs to go grab that.
Yeah, lane swaps happening. They see Moon ports bottom. This is a win for Navi though, because now they just port the Enigma top.
I mean, that Eidolon's going to see them deny it.
It didn't deny it.
It wasn't looking. So Tigers, they will get the bounty.
And they're at 1k gold advantage already because of that first blood too. And those several bounties that they were able to pick up. But the lane setups now looking pretty good for Navi, having that Enigma away from Moon Meander, and he can't TP back up there for 40 seconds.
So we can probably imagine that he will move once again after he's down. It's so profitable. You know, there's Eidolons, they give you a good amount of gold if you can clear them out. And as we say, Pango, a hero that it's very easy to do so with.
Absolutely.
And you can never sort of allow the Enigma to get that Eidolon build up out and that lane pressure on, because he's constantly just losing his army to the slaughter of the Pango.
Yeah, they still do have pretty good ways to kill the Eidolons up top though. Between Crystal Maiden and Mirana, they do have like long range attacks, but it's not that like massive burst that just instantly one-shots them, so we'll probably see that change happening for Tigers eventually. First few waves commencing, Crystallize off to a great start. Enigma denying a ton again as always, but the Invoker in the mid lane, 12-6 to the 10-2 of Magical.
Of course, we can't forget how good of a game Magical did have, I believe, in game 2 of this series on the Storm.
Can be a tough one versus this Quaswex Invoker though. We've seen it a lot where you get EMP'd early on and your hero is not nearly as threatening as usual. And you can just get chain control too. Cold Snap plus several little instances of damage. So he's got the urn. Can definitely look to make rotation. So we do have the swap coming out. I believe Pango TP top, and the immediate response Navi sends the Enigma bottom.
You have to.
Yep.
And as you said, because the Pango was waiting on that TP time, there was always going to be the chance for Blizzy to make the move exactly at the same time that he sees it come into play. So it's going to be hard for Tigers to really force this matchup. And each and every time, unless we see one of them walk from lane to lane, they are going to be able to react with that same TP.
Yeah, they don't want to make that like long walk, because then it's sometimes it can just be so costly. You miss out so much during the laning phase. It's an Enigma who always will be getting something when he TPs, because he's just going to keep pulling the wave back with those Eidolons. And yeah, Crystallize, of course, TP's top immediately as well. So keep trying to get those lane matchups, but Tiger keeps getting, or Na'Vi keeps getting the ones that they want. But Tigers still have that 1k advantage because of that first blood and because of how, you know, grabbing the bounty runes and even how well that mid lane is doing. Oof.
This bottom lane.
They get an arrow.
You get the toss back as well onto Chu. They've got the damage to kill him. What with Moon coming into the lane? They certainly do. Another swap. He's back. He's got that matchup against Blizzy. Is Blizzy doesn't have a TP scroll at the moment. He's trying to make his way over towards the shop, I believe, to pick one up. But Arjit's going to be there, blocking him off. They will throw the arrow out. They get the connection. They'll be able to look to punish Blizzy for trying to make that movement towards the shop. Swashbuckle gets only a couple of the instances onto him, so Blizzy will back off. Doesn't matter. Zephyr's there with the wraparound, and Blizzy will be punished. Just, as I say, trying to make his way to that shop and underestimating the chance for Tigers to turn and kill him with the 3 men down there.
Musical lanes, mid lane, Magical. Dropping low, has the bottle charges, will be okay as there's no creeps to tank for this Invoker to go for the dive. Sees 1437, the Crystal Maiden trying to position behind it, maybe try to catch this Storm Spirit backing up, but doesn't happen. They will spot Seneko though.
They can get the slow. Cold snap as well. Seneko should be in a lot of trouble. They have the alacrity on in your dream, and with the right clicks, that will be a kill. Seneko falls, more money for in your dream in this mid matchup. Same time, they also find Magical in the jungle. The movement comes in from Zephyr and also from Moon Meander.
You know, Na'Vi, they forced the matchups that they wanted to get, but the movement so far by Tigers, it's working out better. 2k gold lead already for them, 5-0.
Yeah, Moon, as we saw with that pass-by kill on the mid lane, he was indeed making that walk up to top. He wants that Enigma's farm. He wants that Eidolon. All of them, every single time. And a quick hello. And Blizzy realizes he's suddenly again in the position that he doesn't want to be in.
I love seeing musical lanes like this. Crystallize now, also getting bullied.
Yeah,
Arrow gets tanked.
If they got the damage, they do. That's Crystallize gone. And Na'Vi, they're looking to fight back. Look at the rotation from Seneko with the haste rune. He's able to beat down one. Can they get anything more from this? Does not look like it. Still, Na'Vi are able to finally get themselves a kill on the board as it stands as 6-1 for Tigers. 2k lead as this game for Tigers looking to have resolved and figured out a much better way to start the lanes against Na'Vi.
And they're having their Invoker off to a fantastic start. Since he's versus that Storm Spirit, he got off already on the right foot. Now he's level 7 to that level 5, almost level 8. He has phase boots finished, so very early phase. He's gonna have he can make runs around the map to start to punish the side lanes too. Probably wants to stay in the mid lane until he finishes the urn, but he's gonna have the options to make so many moves around the map. As they bring now 3 heroes toward the bottom lane, they're leaving the Pangolier in a 1v1 versus the Enigma.
Zephyr does get cursed. Get the arrow onto Crystallize, though Zephyr turns with the combo, it doesn't matter. Crystallize survives, and Zephyr will be punished for getting a little too close to those in Na'Vi. Second kill for Na'Vi. Wonder Kid in the mid lane though, getting more and more space whilst this attention from Na'Vi is being focused elsewhere.
There's the Eidolon.
I mean, that's why you got to keep it away from him.
Yeah.
So much gold, I mean over 100 each time from that quick burst. It goes the way of Moon.
Magical though, since he's been jungling pretty much exclusively this Invoker. You saw what he did with the catapult wave. He alacrited it, but he also glyphed. Because Na'Vi used their glyph to try to aggressively push this out and defend from the tower, he glyphs his catapult, and look at how much damage. He nearly takes out the full tier 1 with the first siege. Very important for that. We've mentioned a lot of times. You take out these tier 1s early, you have these invasion plays to get into the jungle versus a Storm Spirit. Tigers, and look, this dual roam we were talking about, they want to set up the Pango on the 1v1, and then they can just start looking to make moves around the map. They have these 3 cores that can kind of hold their own ground in the lane. Mirana with leaps, Pango with his swashbuckle that he's constantly going to be using onto the Eidolons, and then Invoker with a good start. So deep ward's been placed down. They want to try to make sure they can keep tabs on this Storm Spirit.
They can just start this tower for the kill hit. That's Seneko. He's trapped. There's no escape for him. As Wonder Kid comes and corners him in the trees. Living Armor actually will buy him time. That's 3 Na'Vi TPs coming in. Wonder Kid will turn with the Tornado and keep them back.
And gets the kill.
And does indeed finish off Seneko now with the zip forward. Magical trying to find kills in response. They've got the Moonlight Shadow. Won't save 1437 underneath the tower. Na'Vi finds something in return. Zephyr still hunting. Oh, he gets Blizzy! Blizzy tried for the black hole, but the Avalanche was already out. So not only killing the Enigma, but no threat of the black hole for a good couple of minutes because of that attempted play. Magical does look to strike back after losing the tower, getting himself on top. But there's the Pango play coming in from Moon. Rolls in with the Rolling Thunder. The toss combo's there as they punish the Storm for attempting to kill the Invoker. Tigers keeping a very good hold at the opening of this game 4. 9 minutes in, it's 9-3, a 4K lead for Tigers as they are certainly picking themselves back up after a hard game 2 and a tough game 3.
Can't believe it's already 4K gold lead for them. The 3 cores farming incredibly well. The Tiny as well. Zephyr, we were mentioning, this is one of his more successful heroes, and he's proving why. Making the moves around the map, punishing this Storm Spirit. There's so much control and so much disable coming out for Magical this game.
Let's crystallize.
They're just threatening so much.
Being hunted, the Avalanche perfectly setting up the arrow, getting them around him. He's surrounded. Frostbite in the midst of the skies. As Crystallize taken once more. This is Tigers back at their finest.
Yep. And the Invoker makes his way down bottom. Make sure he picks up an earn charge. They're going to claim 3 of the 4 bounty runes yet again. So 5K gold lead. And immediately they go back to the lanes and they're hunting. Look at the Invoker top, setting up to try to find the silencer. It's a free kill on Seneko.
Oh, it certainly is. Cold Snap to cancel the TP, and Seneko's got nowhere to run. As Living Armor will allow some time, but In Your Dream finds him with the Tornado. Perfect setup to get the kill. Mid lane Magical, toying with the idea of a bit of potential jump onto Zephyr, but the backup's there from Moon, keeping the Storm off from diving. At the same time down bottom, they'll look towards Arjit. He's got a couple of leaps to keep the distance. Drew's going to try and chase. Does have a fair few burning spears on him, but not enough to kill him. Survives on 43 HP and walks off.
And immediately, Tigers, again, relentless. Whenever they claim their advantage in the early game, they do seem to really want to press the issue forward.
Oh, the toss forward! The CM!
Oh, he's out of mana.
Has he got a swashbuckle?
The punch strike. Oh.
I mean, they've got him surely.
The Living Armor.
You gotta dive for this. He doesn't need to. Indeed, the tree is enough. See if Na'Vi can claim kills for this though, as Tigers have had to dive pretty damn deep for this one. Chu and Seneko, they've got the control and damage onto Zephyr. Zephyr will turn with the Avalanche and toss. Does end up losing his life to the tower though. But they get Magical. Tigers just playing with the aggression that we saw from them in game 1, and it's keeping them comfortably ahead. This Invoker being set up for a fantastic game.
They're punishing the greed, right? They recognize Enigma Storm, pretty greedy, and then they also are just punishing the Huskar a bit too. Crystallize, unable to find any real safe farm. They keep threatening and setting up all these kills, and there's already going to be a Spirit Vessel finish now on this Invoker.
Just 12 minutes in. Crazy timing from In Your Dream.
Yeah. Moon keeps it just instantly idle on show. He just uses both of his spells, clears them out very quickly. Gonna enable him to get that very early blink dagger so they can have a straight up initiator. Blizzy has the black hole available, has to make something happen for it for Na'Vi, as they are falling further and further behind in this one. Crystallize just still unsafe, unable to find this armlet. It's not like an armlet's gonna make him just like a god hero, right? In this game, there's so much little disables. There's Tiny Avalanche, there's Cold Snaps, there's Crystal Maiden disables, arrows. There's so many different things that are gonna control this man. He really needs the armlet and then a BKB pretty soon afterwards so he can not get just chain CC'd and be able to protect himself. Such a great start for Tigers. 7K gold lead. Crystallize. They're hunting him again.
And they found him. The Frostbite, the Avalanche, all the disable in the world. He tries to jump away. But it really is as you put it. There's just so many ways to hold this Huskar down. Make sure that he doesn't get the chance to fight back.
Yep. And immediately they always have their TPs ready too. You see Wonder Kid, he's ready, pushing out mid lane. He wants to prepare for top. Moon Meander might look to commit forward here.
Let's see what
he's getting jumped on first.
Yeah, they dive in. They're not going to need to use the black hole for this one, as they just beat down the Pangolier. TPs are coming in. Only one will actually continue though. Just Zephyr to come through. Has got the Moonlight Shadow. The throw out of dust doesn't clip onto the Tiny.
They pushed them off the tower, though, of Na'Vi, and now the rotation's coming in. We see the rest of Tigers. There at least 2 of the Tigers making their way up, but Na'Vi, they've got everyone up here.
Let's see how they start the fight, Tigers. There's Magicals laying down the remnants on top of RJ. RJ quick with the leap out, but the global silence is out. Na'Vi looking to push forward for more. The overgrowth comes out, looking out RJ. The 3 grouped up together, but the tornado EMP is going to cause issues for Blizzy as he's got no mana. He'll pop the stick charges, but he's having to run away from Zephyr. The Tiny straight on top of him with the tree throw takes down the Enigma. Chew will be able to hide in the trees. He's got full HP, so he'll be fine. So a quick 1-for-1. They lose the CM, but they get the Enigma and they keep that tier 1 tower alive, Tigers.
You can see how much emphasis they put on the tier 1 too. They started TPs, they canceled it because they got a little scared when Blizzy stepped up with the hole, but then instead of like going and pushing out the lanes or farming lanes, since they already have the tier 1s in those side lanes, they just run their way up there with their Crystal Maiden, with their Invoker. They do not want to give Na'Vi any breathing room on the map, as they shouldn't. With this 7k gold lead, now they have a Blink Dagger on the Pangolier as well, so he got easier access into the back lines.
Yeah, and also a really solid way of cancelling that black hole every time.
Yep. And Blizzy, he's going to go for the Midas again in this game, as he does pretty much every single time. But it's going to be very late, as he's been running around and just getting punished over and over again by Tigers rotations. Bounty Runes.
They're going to look for it, but Magical. Frostbite. The arrow connects as well. Jump forward from Arjit. There is a living armor giving him some sort of safety, but it's not enough. The right clicks from Tigers finish off the storm.
They might actually be able to claim all 4 bounties. They didn't. Na'Vi did not take the bottom one either. So Tigers, I think they've gotten, what is it? I think like almost all the bounties this game, pretty much. They've gotten the vast
close
majority.
to it, at least.
Taking all the tier 1s, claiming a majority of bounty runes, getting deep vision down, and constantly putting pressure on and hunting this Storm and Huskar, who take a little bit of time to get online. Same thing with the Enigma. These heroes, they all do take some time if Tigers is able to get the lanes to be in their success, and they did, even though it looked like Na'Vi had the position of swapping back and forth with the Enigma having successful. Just a couple extra moves and Tigers solidified the start.
They were trying to set up potentially onto Wonderkid down bottom, but the Moonlight Shadow being prematurely used to allow him to get out before Na'Vi see an opportunity to break in. Tigers now popping the dust. They know that Chew's around here, but Chew's already hidden behind the trees and will TP out.
Yeah, they threw the scan, and then they immediately pop a dust to see where this Treant is, but not quite able to. But because of that, they are able to, looks like they put more deep vision. So look at that ward control by Tigers. 3 incredibly deep wards just to watch any of the movements from Na'Vi. And like we said, they just want to keep that pace up, keep the Huskar on the back foot. He'll never be able to catch up and never be able to actually claim a Roshan. As 10k gold lead for them, and their team fight is very scary.
Oh, they're hunting down Magical. They've got the setup with the Rolling Thunder, the arrow, the Sunstrike, everything down upon him, and the burst is enough. Perfect setup from Moon with the Rolling Thunder as they take Magical off the map for 30 seconds, slowing down the farm of this Storm Spirit that's desperately trying to catch back up this game. As Tigers taking over the map.
They look like a totally different team when they're playing this Pango type of lineup. Moon Meander able to get involved so much earlier.
Blizzy, does he want to commit for this? That's the question. He's got the Black Hole down, Sanctuary placed as well. It's a big kill if they can get away with it. The Overgrowth and the jump forward from Crystallize will allow them to take down In Your Dream.
They used all their big ultis to get that kill. That is a whole, a tree ult, and the global. So Tigers, they don't rely on ulti so much. Pango is their longest cooldown. He can look to fight immediately anyway, even without it.
And Moon, he jumps in, quick blink out before any damage comes into play. Just have a bit of a poke at Na'Vi.
But that's the way Na'Vi can try to get back here. It's unfortunate they have to use so many, but they need to try to get some type of momentum going their way because of how much this Invoker and just how much Tigers is able to just run over them.
There's still a 10k advantage for Tigers.
Yep. Experience is probably pretty high out there as well.
Chew. He's on the hunt. Oh, he's going to head away from the trees there, so revealing himself. Frostbite comes out. Moon leads in with the Rolling Thunder. He gets the living armor off onto himself, but with the freezing field, there's more than enough instances to burst through the armor and kill off the Treant. As Tigers now have that ward control over that area of the map, continuing to just take over those safe spots that Na'Vi are relying on to find the farm to get their cores back into the game.
Yep, and they're making sure they don't get these wards dewarded either.
No, that was not a TP you maybe wanted to go for. As jump ball from Moon, it's not quite enough. The Sunstrike won't be on target. As Seneko very lucky to get away with his life.
It's just, you know, we mentioned it at the beginning of the draft, right? Just there's so much poke and so much nuke damage that Tigers actually has in this draft with the Crystal Maiden. They're executing it to near perfection right now. 11k gold lead. Huskar still incredibly far behind. Same thing with the Enigma and the Storm. All 3 cores and the 2 supports just unable to really find any space on the map. Tigers just continuing to run around, just suffocate them. Don't let them catch back up. Magical. 2-5-1 in this game. Not even near the performance that he had earlier on that Storm Spirit. Just that lane matchup being ever so difficult and just the pressure they put on him.
Oh, and the Vincere tries to come out with a quick D-ward, but Tigers are in position to punish him.
He's trying so hard to get rid of the vision, but like we said, they're playing around their vision. They're playing incredibly aggressive.
And with this smoke, they may find more. Crystallize dangerously close to the whereabouts of Tigers at the moment.
They know he's there.
The pings come out, Crystallize has been found, the slow comes into play. He's trying to back off, but the tornado allows them time to surround him and take Crystallize down once more. As Tigers just keeping the flow going perfectly, offering no opportunity for Na'Vi to slow things down.
Nope. And immediately you see 1437. He's got all the obs and sentries just prepared. So he comes down, instantly puts a sentry on the high ground there. If they did have any ward there, I didn't see if they did actually. I know they had a sentry around there. He immediately takes care of it. And look at the map. Look, Na'Vi, they have like no vision on the map. They have 1 ward down in that bottom lane, which doesn't give the greatest amount of information. Besides that, the map is completely dark. They can't see anything, and Tigers are just freely running around. Besides Chu. Chu is scouting out a little bit here. But it's how much threat they really put on the map as they're going to claim 1-2 bounties.
What's up? Na'Vi. They do find Zephyr all on his own.
Can they get him?
Magical a little low on the mana. Has he got enough? The infused raindrops will be there to save Zephyr. Only just. Without that last raindrop instance, he certainly would have died.
And they claim all 4 bounty runes again on the side of Tigers. Like we said, I think they claimed like 90%, if not more of them so far in this game, just constantly. And they're ready to fight.
There's the jump forward. Moon getting the 2-man rolling thunder. Snako pops the global silence, living armor upon him, but the right clicks from In Your Dreamer too much. They turn towards Magical as well, and with this insistent disable from Moon, there is no chance for Magical to play his way out of there. The Pango continues to be on top form from Moon.
You know, Tigers, they're doing this for everybody. They just like, you know what? I know the viewers want a game 5, so we're gonna just come up with this beautiful draft. We've got our Crystal Maiden, we've got our Pango, we've got people on Comfort Heroes.
They're eyeing up top.
So far.
Do they commit with the black hole? That is the question. Blizzy's not going to.
They didn't get the overgrowth. Chu tried to do it from the furthest distance possible. It doesn't get the Marana.
And Chu, he's actually hung around here as the rest have already bailed on him. Chu's gonna fall. Another pick off for Tigers. As Crystallize, he's still around. He's hiding. He's hoping they don't find him in the trees. Moon's hunting.
He's so close to... Oh, the one tree path he doesn't go down. Oh, they will be able to get out. That was extremely scary.
Yeah, if they sort of got vision for a cold snap, he would have been in a whole world of trouble.
Absolutely.
Crystallize lives to see another day. Obviously, with that movement up top, they were likely to have seen that Blizzy does have the blink dagger.
And look at the collapse. They've got all 3 lanes pushing in. So Tigers, they've just got so much more space on the map to farm as... Yeah, Na'Vi, they're just trapped in their base. Blizzy has a blink dagger, but he needs... Just like that other game, he needs some type of 5-man black hole to try to salvage this, because it is looking so troublesome.
Oh, and outside of the base, Na'Vi, they're trying to fight, but there's so many heroes here. Crystallize dives forward, living armor's on him, but there's no one else that's looking to help that Huskar. He's too far out and too alone.
He doesn't even look like a Huskar in this game. He's just dying to every... Look, there's just too much spells, too much control coming out on this man.
And I think this is one of those games as well where, even with the blink, it's almost impossible for Blizzy to find the black hole. Like, every hero on Tiger's lineup has a way to cancel the black hole.
They only can hope for some type of like black hole with global, and then they can't.
That's true.
But that's about it.
They can get it with the global. As at the moment, nobody on Tigers with a way to remove the silence, I believe. So you are right, there is that one play with the 2 ults.
Still so difficult because they're getting so much items, and because of such a massive net worth lead, they're getting tankier and tankier, and the damage on Na'Vi, it's not like it's building up or ramping up. We see there, look how many dots there are for the Dire.
Yeah.
Just constant aggression, constantly threatening these kills, and they're getting too big for Na'Vi's heroes to actually deal out the damage. It's not like they have they need some like 4 or 5-man black hole for like max distance zip on top, because besides that, they don't really have some like bam damage. Like Silencer, his damage is slow and progressive. Tree, not really that much damage. He's more about control. It's just not really there for the side of Na'Vi because of how this start has happened. And yeah, and Tigers looking to run away with this one.
And now that global silence and blackout hole do have a counter. Moon's got the Yules, so if he's able to just get the quick blink and Yules play onto the Enigma, he's going to be able to disrupt that black hole every single time. They have to get on top of him with ideally, potentially, a route from Chu as such, cancel that blink dagger, and then find the lead in with the black hole and the global silence. A lot of things that need to fall into position that can happen. It's just going to be so hard to do so. Blizzy's thinking about going for it mid. They've actually popped the global silence here, but Blizzy not quite in position to use the black hole. Now with the charge, but they try with the sunstrike, won't connect, but now they can't look for that play for a good nearly couple of minutes. There's no global silence.
I mean, they're just going to keep farming the map. Na'Vi, they just don't have the way to pick people off on the sides here. They don't have some super farm Storm Spirit or anything. I mean, Magical, for some of the rare times you see it, he's bottom 4 of the net worth on this Storm. Just had an incredibly difficult game.
In your dream.
He's stalking. Oh.
You can't show. He's hunting. He knows he's around and the blink is there in time.
So Blizzy
will be able to TP out just before Moon comes into town with the Rolling Thunder. The Enigma escapes. Didn't get the chance to use his Midas though, Blizzy. I think because he was trying to hunt for a creep wave to find a chance, as he'll get lucky mid. Needs that BKB ASAP. Chu. Outside the base found out. They're going to try and commit for this one. They'll go in. He's looking to get in position for the black hole. Don't get the 2 of them. Is there any disabling time? There is not. So Na'Vi get away with the 2 kills. There'll be a buyback straight away from 1437 as Tigers, they're still more than happy to fight. Sunstrike, Meteor down onto Blizzy. The Yules catch as well onto Crystallize, allowing time for the cooldowns to come back up as they get on top of him, beat him down. As Tigers will still take the fight.
It was just the supports that got hold. All the beefy cores, all the strong heroes that are dishing out the most amount of damage on the side of Tigers were alive, and now Seneko.
He will go for the suicide play to find the 2 bounty runes, but will indeed pay with his life. As Moon and Arjit there to continue the bloodshed from Na'Vi. 26-9, 18k lead at 25 minutes in. Incidentally, the second game this series we've seen where a Huskar lineup just gets absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Both these teams incredibly prepared for those type of heroes.
On In Your Dream. On the hunt again as soon as the push starts to come in on this bottom lane. Chu is around. Magical. He has to get out of here. Goes for the big zip. That should be enough to keep him safe. He's out of range of the tornado. Is out of mana.
They're just pinging him.
They do actually have to wrap around for Moon. Moon did have the Rolling Thunder and the Yules. Will now go for the play. Have they got enough control? TPs are coming in. Blizzy's there. Can he actually do anything to help out Magical? Magical's still out of mana. The Spirit Vessel down onto him, and with the Rolling Thunder, Moon's got the control. He's into the base. He's diving from what? Swashbuckle for the low ground. Brings Blizzy low. Spirit Vessel out from In Your Dream. Secures the kill. Tigers get 2 more, continuing to add to this massive tally of kills they found in just 26 minutes.
And they're just so relentless for the kill. Look how far they dive for it to get though. And Moon, man, this guy's actually just so good at Pango. The way he takes like these little arcs to get the bounce off of the wall, so he takes a little bit longer so he can make sure the stun connects. It's the little things you get to see with these type of players that just it's so explosive.
It's just crazy to see, you know, when he goes off like this on the Pangala, you sort of ask yourself,
Can you get it?
Oh. No, he can't.
He cannot. And that's a full mech on it too.
But as I was saying, it just, you know, this guy last game, he was playing an ogre.
Don't give this man ogre.
Don't give this man a hero where he can show off.
Absolutely.
You don't show off on ogre. You really don't. But on a Pangolier, Moon is in his element.
100% agree. 23k gold lead. Tigers just seem so much more comfortable when they're playing this type of style.
Yeah.
Looking like we should have that game 5. But how close is Blizzy toward that BKB?
He's
getting there, but
he is getting there.
it's gonna be a real pipe dream for him to try to hit multiple, like 4 or 5 heroes or something, which they are really gonna need to try to catch back up this Storm. And yeah, I mean, this Storm and Huskar have 15,000 net worth together. Mirana has 15,000 net worth herself.
That's down in the jungle. They found him. They found Blizzy. Blizzy with a sunstrike to the head will fall. Chu tries to fight back with the overgrowth. Magical's on top of 1437. They'll get the CM. A quick route as well onto the Pangolier. They do have the Vortex controlling him. They'll take him down as well.
All right. They punch back a little bit here. It's a gem as well that's been picked up.
A big zipper. Ooh, Magical won't quite get the touch onto Zephyr before the blink is out.
That's the 2 best kills they've gotten in the game so far. I think that was actually might have been their own gem that they recovered. Now that I see it. Yeah. They picked that one up so that he doesn't have to worry about like pushing out too much. Oh no, it is 1437. Okay. I thought I'd seen someone else picked it up, but I think it looks like Thieban was just trying to make sure that no tree is stalking on him and just keep this control of the map. Now Tiny also has a Lotus Orb, so another way to remove that silence off of himself or his teammates so they can provide that disable for that Enigma. But we see Blizzy. He's the highest net worth on his team as the Enigma.
And of course, Blizzy, when he does have that BKB though, no way to cancel it for it. The Tigers lineup. In terms of, what are we seeing from Moon's itemization on the Pango?
Greaves, I believe, yeah. He's playing versus the global.
Yeah.
Like, Yule's using it on yourself is cool, but he wants to Greaves.
It takes you out of the fight for quite, a good few seconds that can be very painful.
And he wants to use the combo. He wants the Rolling Thunder and Yule's on top of somebody and get that like chain stun coming out. He wants to just be able to Greaves himself and just get his spells off immediately. So good itemization across the board from Tigers, and they're continuing to just keep this one in the bag. They don't have great Roche hitters, so you see in most games you'd probably be like, oh, why aren't they Roshing? But in this game, their heroes just don't do it. It's incredibly slow. Sure, they have Alacrity with the Mirana. They can kill it at an okay pace, but it's like that's the only way they lose is if they get caught in some like weird Roche pit. Just control the game, and they've already been doing so and doing it incredibly well.
So here we go. BKB on Blizzy.
All right, BKB on Storm now too.
BKB also were picked up on both Mirana and Invoker, I believe.
Okay.
They're not.
I think Huskar, right?
Sorry, Mirana and Huskar were the ones that I was seeing.
So triple BKBs for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
This is their go. They need something huge to happen here for them to come back in this game because they committed for these BKBs.
Let's see who they find. Zephyr, not the one you want to jump.
No, you've
got to find a core. Bounty runes are going to come up. Looks like both teams are in place to get 2 for each side.
They're trying to set up a play around the secondary one. They even throw the scan out just in case they're smoking to it. We've seen a lot of, I feel like more and more teams just doing smoke rotations on the bounty runes to try to catch in games. As Tigers will claim 2 more and just keep these lanes pushed out. They want to try to get a fight successful here with the Moonlight Shadow. They have great map control with all these wards, as we've been saying. Na'Vi needs a miracle.
First bit of a showing in the poke from Zephyr in the mid lane, in your dream will be spotted out by Chu. Chu has got the vision set up. They are going to zip, dodge the tornadoes. They get themselves on top of the Invoker. He's rooted up as well. Global Silence being committed as they bring in Crystallize. He gets the light break across. The self-fuels will fry him up in the air for some time, but he'll still die. They get the Invoker. Commit forward now with the Rolling Thunder as Moon heads straight past them, trying to look for the backlines of Na'Vi. Crystallize still with the BKB up. Blizzy yet to pop his, could look to jump in. There's been a buyback from In Your Dream as they'll slow down Crystallize. BKB from Arjun as he commits on top of the Huskar. Gets his godlike streaker going as they take down 2 members of Na'Vi. Tigers just losing the one, but In Your Dream as we see buying back. Blizzy still has the BKB, still has the black hole ready. But without their Huskar for 35. If they can kill that Invoker a second time, that could open something big on the map, but oh no, Blizzy!
Oh no.
He's been caught out, the toss combos comes in, he's got the money for buyback.
Invoker just got the level 20 Cataclysm talent as well too, right when he bought back.
As that mid-rack's totally cleaned up by Tigers. They're moving towards top. They'll see the buyback from the Enigma. They're going to respect it. Magical tries to lead in to start something, but Tigers already at a distance. Will not be caught out by the Bull Lightning.
Now they might back up to try to do a Roche here. If they can get some good vision control, it's that. Either they get a pick up or they go just push out the lanes and try to get some type of Roche successful here. It's still a little bit scary though, versus that BKB Enigma. Might not want to do it all the way.
That arrow there, absolutely perfect.
Yep.
Catching Blizzy off guard. He was not prepared for that one, coming straight into the middle of the base.
Any type of stun will lead into a Cataclysm, and that is a, I mean, max level Exort Invoker with Aghanim, so it's going to be an extra like 1200 pure damage on top if he is able to use it with any stun.
Look at this wraparound as well from Tigers. They know that Na'Vi's likely to leave the base to head towards the pit. They are going to be coming in from the low ground though. For a step forward from Seneko, he is going to spot this out. Moon does get the Rolling Thunder off. Turns towards the Silencer immediately with the Yule's combo, bouncing him up and down in place. Magical Crystallized there as well. Crystallized with the BKB committal. Magical heads towards the side, but they've lost Blizzy. Arjit with the BKB commit straight away on top of the Enigma. Blizzy dead without buyback for 70 seconds. They get Crystallized as well. 3 dead on Na'Vi. No buybacks available. Tigers with a good opportunity to at least claim another set of racks, maybe even more. As Na'Vi with just 2 members alive, can they push Tigers back? Tigers at 33 minutes, 35 to 12, 27k gold lead. Can Na'Vi buy time for another attempt at holding on in this game?
It's not looking like it. Still 45 seconds, no Enigma. Tigers They do heavy structure damage with this alacrity, and they're running to the final lane to claim those racks.
They certainly aren't. Even with the silence and the Huskar back up,
It's not enough.
I don't know if Na'Vi can go for this. They need that black hole. As Blizzy, he was looking so solid in terms of getting that BKB online, but ever since that, he got caught out twice in a row, and it's been so painful. Magical using all of the mana possible to keep them off this bottom set of racks. Chu goes in, he gets caught out, does have buyback, jump forward there on top of Seneko, pop the global silence. Living Armor's there as well. Magical zips in, he's managed to get himself on top of RJ. RJ will fall. They get the Moana and now step forward for more. Twice broke up from Mumianda, keeping the distance. 40-37 goes for the freezing field with the BKB crystallized. He takes down the CM. They've got the overgrowth, locking down 2 more. As Na'Vi, they'll take 4. Ultra kill for Crystallize. As Na'Vi, against all odds, will keep that bottom racks alive and keep themselves in the game. But they need more, a whole lot more.
And they should try to run straight to Roche. They know Invoker does buyback.
That is true.
I think that's the best play they can do here. They got a beautiful overgrowth. They got a great combo. Magical just kind of baited them in there, had the buyback. Na'Vi. Still a 26k gold lead for Tigers.
It's a big lead. But this Roshan, as you say, without buyback on either Moon or in your Dream, very little that Tigers can do to contest. Zephyr can go for a YOLO play. But Blizzy,
they're throwing the scan out already. They know he's on the high ground.
And Magical's going to come searching straight away. Zephyr does get the combo. Oh, Magical nearly dies. Oh, he's got to get out of there.
Almost dies,
but he does make the space for Na'Vi to finish off Roshan, get the Aegis on Crystallize. Freezing Frostbite from 1437 is out, but Crystallize jumps in. The dust is there as well upon the CM. As 1437 will fall, Magical claims the bounty runes. Na'Vi slowly climbing their way back into this game as we see this defense once more.
It looked good for Tigers too, but then Crystallized with the BKB, he just stands in the middle. Overgrowth comes out, the buyback from Magical. Too much damage coming through. Tigers overstaying their bounds just a little bit, and Na'Vi showing some life now in this game. Still at a huge deficit.
There is that counter though now, as we talked about. The Basher is out on the Pangolier, so a way to disable that black hole if he finds the angle through the BKB.
Invoker's about to start respawning. Tigers might look for some type of fight here. Na'Vi, they're all positioned around the area. Magical is a little bit far away.
They're looking to start the jumping, potentially. Crystallize. Feeling confident with the Aegis. They do jump in. The toss is going to miss. There's Na'Vi. If they really want to stick around and look for a fight, they do have the global silence and the black hole.
They need a miraculous fight to come in here again, even if they have the danger. They're going to jump forward. Okay, yeah, so be careful.
Every time sort of trying to spook Tigers into committing onto him, trying to force them to group up and then set up an avenue for the Blizzy Enigma to come in and take advantage of it.
Their base is under pressure now, though. That top rack's being taken out so early. They have the catapults pushing in too. Tigers, they look like they want to try to take an approach. They want to try to wrap around, find that Enigma in the backlines, find the silencer so they don't have to worry about those globals that can be pretty annoying. Seneko, trying to find some farm on the map here. Theban, 1437 is already pinging it. He's on the prowl.
As soon as Blizzy sees his Eidolons being taken down by RG, he has to retreat. They cannot afford to lose anybody outside of the base.
Nope.
As how are Na'Vi's buybacks looking? It can't be too hot at the moment after that defense down bottom, as we see here. Just only Seneko and Crystallize with buybacks available. 2.5 minutes and Blizzy's will be back. It's a pretty long 2 minutes though. Arrows out, they've got the ward down as well, Tigers, so they see Magical. They get the opening with the Frostbite, they're trying to lead forward as well. The Yules, and they're running further, but Blizzy's in! He gets the 2-man black hole! Have they got the damage to get the kills? Whilst this black hole's going on, the overgrowth's out as well! The Cataclysm's in place, they've got to back off! Blizzy taking 2 straight to the face as he falls low! They've killed off RJ with the immediate buyback! In your Dream trying to lead forward onto the Enigma, Blizzy's still alive for now, the big leap for Crystallize comes out onto In Your Dream, but they do not have the disable to kill him! They've lost Blizzy, they've lost Magical without buyback! Can Seneko and Crystallize keep the fight going? Moon, he's got the shield crest, damage resistance, he keeps the distance, Seneko won't fall, he's got buyback available, but the cold snap Spirit Vessel takes Crystallize down the once. Chu watching from the sidelines, he gets the Meteor Hammer down, the roots onto Moon, Crystallize getting kited up by the side of Tigers. Can they get Crystallize back to safety? Chew still hiding amongst the trees. The tornado, the meteor combo from In Your Dream comes down, takes an Echo out a second time. A big leap for Crystallize, but the deafening blast knocks him back. They've lost Chew as Tigers finds him in the trees. GG is called with only Crystallize left standing. There's no chance for Na'Vi to hold on anymore in this game.
Oh, we got a game 5.
We have indeed. Tigers, after a disastrous game 2 and game 3, they get themselves back on track with
I like
a very